every situation in our life, no matter what season we're in, we need to invite the Holy Spirit. We need to invite the Holy God into our lives so that way He can dwell in the midst with us. So we can hear from Him. We connect with Him. We hear what He wants, the plan that He has for our life. It says, be holy because I am holy. Simple instructions, right? You know, but there's many times where people get concerned or intimidated about being holy. There's churches all across America where they don't talk about being holy. You can be in the wilderness, but don't let the wilderness be in you. You can be in a situation that's unfavorable, but don't let that be inside of you. Because the Lord can dwell inside. He's looking for a place where He can dwell inside. But God's saying, I'm not just going to dwell in any type of vessel. To be holy because I am holy. Exodus 3, chapter 3, verse 6 says, moreover, He said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Verse 7 says, and the Lord said, I surely have seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. Verse 8 says, so I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Deliverance is knocking. And to bring them up from that land to a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites. Verse 8 says, so I come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Deliverance is knocking. And to bring them up from the land to a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites, the Perizzites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me. And I've also seen the oppression which the Egyptians oppressed them. Verse 10 says, come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Verse 11 says, but Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring the children out of Egypt? We're talking about delayed deliverance. And I'm going to give you today 3 things that we do to delay deliverance. The first thing I want to do, number 1, my first point is stop. It's easy to say stop. What do you mean? If you're already delayed, then stopping doesn't make any sense. What are you saying? Stop. I'm saying that sometimes you have to take a pause and remember the resume of the God that you serve. See, you realize that the Lord has already ordered your steps. That He's already seen your beginning from your end. Sometimes you just need a reminder, because sometimes we get so entrenched on what we're facing that we don't remember that the God has sustained us this entire time. Okay, Moses, did you not remember what I already did for you? Did you not remember how you were born into slavery, but you came out of the water and then you were put into the palace, and from the palace you had the best education, an awesome life? Did you not remember that? When you were on the run, did you not remember that I kept you safe while you were on the run? Yeah. When you made a mistake, I didn't hold it over your head that you made a mistake. Now you're in the wilderness. And you were looking, and then when you're presented with the opportunity to marry one of Jethro's daughters, you not know that I was with you then. How you can be in prominence in Egypt with Pharaoh, and then you can run into the wilderness and be in promise with the priest of Midian. Did you not remember all the things that I have done? Because, Lord, we know that the Lord orders our steps. We have to first stop and just take a pause and remember what He's done. You don't remember, Moses, that I was with you in the water? You don't remember when I just spoke to you through the burning bush? Moses, you have to stop and remember. I'm asking you, it's time to go, but I need to make sure that you're in the right mind frame in order for us to go forward. I know what Isaiah 43:2 says, that when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Yes. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. Yes. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flames scorch you. Do you not remember this, Moses? You would think that Moses would be ready. After all the time that he spent in the wilderness, all the experiences that he had in his life, you think that he would be ready. But yet that wasn't the case. Exodus chapter 4 says that Moses answered and said, but suppose they will not believe me or listen to my voice. Suppose they say, the Lord has not appeared to you. We're still talking about stop. So one of the other things we have to stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. We know the scripture says that as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So it doesn't matter what people say about you. It matters what you say about yourself or what you believe about yourself. See, one of the biggest things that plagues believers is insecurity. Insecurity in their own ability. But also not that, but just not truly understand or believing God in his ability and what he can do through you. Moses had all the excuses. He had them all ready. He had them locked and loaded, ready to go. All right, Moses, it's time to go. I want to deliver the people the people from Pharaoh. I need you to participate in this. Moses like, I hear what you're saying, but see, what had happened was you talking to me like you want me to do it. He had all the excuses. Who am I? I don't know what to say. Why would they listen to me? He goes on and talks about, well, I don't have the authority. Then he goes on and says that, well, I'm not a great speaker. Then he goes on and says, well, please send somebody else, because I definitely can't do this. Think about the scriptures that talk about that. I can do all things through Christ. Gives me strength. The thing is, we can always find an excuse for something that we do not want to do, or elevation that we're afraid of. See, because elevation, there's a price tag that you have to pay for elevation. And sometimes that's what people, because, they talk about counting the cost, and we talk about that in all of our leadership classes about how you have to count the cost. And sometimes when you count the cost, people say, well, man, that's a steep price to pay, because they think about what they have to give up or what they're losing, realizing that anything that you give to God, you're not losing anything. Everything he has the ability to replace. Yeah. Amen. Excuses on why. The elevation caused some people to be scared. We're in a church where our vision is to raise believers to levels of greatness. I witnessed firsthand some people grab it, take a hold of it, say, yes, please, I want to be raised to levels of greatness. And I see some people seeing how their life starts getting great, and then they get afraid and say, okay, I don't know what's going on. This is unfamiliar territory. And God's saying, I'm equipping you for the unfamiliar territory. I'm taking you off from where you are, taking you to another level. Yeah. But the thing is, we have to put ourselves in a position to receive. That's right. Amen. You don't need to be afraid of elevation. Amen. Could you be delaying the deliverance for someone else because you're too scared to move? The people of Israel, they weren't waiting on God to move, they were waiting for Moses to get in position. Because once he spoke it, his word would not come back void. So he already said, hey, we're going to deliver them. But he needed him to be a willing participant in the delivery process. We're talking about delayed deliverance. And the more we have these internal dialogue, who could you potentially be delaying from deliverance because you're afraid? Dr. Lee talked about it earlier, saying that sometimes we go through things in life and we say, okay, and how unfortunate it is, but like she said, I believe it was last Sunday, that if you went through something and you were able to help somebody else going through that, would it be worth it? And the answer has to be yes. If I have to go through hell, if I've been through hell, but I can save somebody else from not going through, it is worth it to me. I can't be afraid to show my scars, and I preached about that a few weeks ago. Showing your scars, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our word of our testimony. The thing is that that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to get people to procrastinate. He wants to give you excuses. He wants to make sure that you are afraid, because he knows that there's some deliverance that is attached to your life that can only be delivered because of you. But he needs you to be a willing participant in this process. So who could you potentially be delaying deliverance because you're too scared to move? Excuses and procrastination, they go hand in hand. You're either moving forward, you're going backwards, or you're dying on the vine. Those are your three things that you're at in your life. You're either making progress, you're going backwards, or you're staying still and you're dying on the vine. I decided this is the year that I'm not okay with going backwards. I'm not okay with just dying on the vine, but I want to make sure that I'm going forward, because as Pastor Raymond always says, that we serve a progressive God. Yes. Progressive. So in Exodus chapter 4, verse 2, it says, so the Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? He said, a rod. Verse 3 says, and he said, cast it on the ground. So he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moses fled from it. Right? Another thing that we have to stop, what do we have to do? We have to stop running. He ran in Egypt because he was afraid. And he's attempting to flee again because of fear. Now I get it, because when I was going through this, I thought about a conversation that we had in our marriage class a couple of weeks ago, when we were talking about some of the more muscular men in our group who are afraid of, like, insects and snakes and bugs. And I said they have nothing. I'm not going to call any names, Chris. But I thought about this. I thought about this story right here. And he said cast on the ground. So he cast on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moses fled from it. He fled from it.